Thank you, Chairman Schatz, and I want to thank Vice Chairman Murkowski for your words as well. Uh, Several years ago, I was proud to lead, along with Senator Hoeven, the effort to designate the bison as our national mammal. This species has been a critical part of our culture in New Mexico, across the West, most especially in Indian country. The growth of tribal buffalo herds over the last few decades is both a symbol of the enduring resilience of this iconic species and a major economic development opportunity for many tribes. Dozens of tribes, and several in New Mexico, including the pueblos of Taos and Picaris, Pojoaque, and Sandia, have done important work to establish tribal buffalo herds on their lands. I have been privileged to see this firsthand. 2 years ago, I visited Picaris Pueblo and went out with their herd manager, Danny Sam, to see their operation up close. I learned about how the community is reincorporating bison meat back into their diets. And the tribal herd at Picaris has allowed the Pueblo to distribute much of that healthy, locally grown, culturally important protein to the community for free. Our bipartisan, bicameral bill, the Indian Buffalo Management Act, would strengthen federal support for tribal bison programs like the one I saw at Picaris. It would authorize a permanent program at Interior and provide dedicated funding to promote and develop capacity for tribes to manage those buffalo herds. As you'll hear from Irv Carlson from the Intertribal Buffalo Council, establishing and managing a new bison herd is a resource intensive process for tribes. And there's a very real need for technical and resource support. And I want to thank you, Irv, and ITBC for all of your guidance, all of your feedback that helped us as we drafted this legislation, and for your organization's support for tribal bison herds really all across Indian country. I'd also like to thank my Republican partner on this bill, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, and our bipartisan co-leads in the House, Representatives Doug LaMolfa and Mary Peltola. And finally, I would be remiss if I did not also recognize the late Representative Don Young, who is one of the original leaders in this effort in Congress. Thank you, Chairman Schatz and Vice Chairman Murkowski, for giving me time to speak on this bill. And I hope that in my lifetime, thanks in large part to these tribal buffalo herds, we will see bison return to the prominent place that it once occupied as a keystone species on America's shortgrass prairies.